New Superman number 14.
Connor's still not back.
And Connor's
This is
still
cracking me up.
Connor's still not back. And this, do you know what annoys me about this is that he drops New Superman and he was complaining this week that he didn't have enough books. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have dropped New Superman because this week's issue was freaking fantastic. It might be the best issue of the series. And I'm annoyed he's not here to hear us praise it to the heavens because it was really goddamn good. Oh, at least I thought it was. Did you like it as well, Matt?
I did. It's more of what I like about this book, and it's Yang making Keenan his own, and it Superman's in the title, but
that's actually a really good point, Matt.
distinct.
Gene Lun Yang wrote it and Billy Tan on art. I forgot to mention that before we.
There you go.
Wait, I was too busy complaining about Connor to do my usual
I gotcha.
usual intro.
Because it feels like the early days of Superman where he was a man of the people, and I feel like in this issue, Keenan puts aside his ego and becomes a man of the people.
I love everything about this. Obviously, Emperor Superman's up on the top of this tower. The Great Tenor attack him at the start, but it's about our Justice League. It's about the Justice League of China coming together, and they find Wonder Woman early on. She's still a snake, and it's actually Avery who says, "Oh, the Flash taught me this trick," which we saw in that book. To try and sort of center yourself, she has to get control of her emotions, much like the Speedsters have to do with the Speed Force when they're still sort of learning how to use it. And she's like, say things you really like, things that you love, things that make you feel comfortable. And she changes enough that she changes most of her body, but she's still got the tail. She's still got a snake tail and no legs, which is
she's like a snake tar.
But
that's what I called her.
As good as as good as the Keenan stuff is throughout this issue, the Baxi Delan stuff is fantastic. So he can't look at her. He feels weird because he had a big crush on her, and now she's like half snake. He's found out all this stuff about her, and so they form this. Okay, right, we'll split into pairs. Flash and Superman will go up to this building and start freeing the hostages in the building. You two will go to this floor.
They're gonna meet in the middle.
And Baxy's like, oh, can we not? Can I not go with you? It's like, no. We've got the superpowers. We'll go up to the top and we'll do that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's this tension between them, and Delan eventually, after they sort of do some stuff, and she jumps in, she gets kind of hurt. She actually goes in to protect Baxter. He's almost going to get shot, and she jumps in and takes the hit in the shoulder. And she's like, I protected you, but you can't even look at me. You're freaked out by me. I'm a lesser being because I'm one of these mythical creatures. He's like, no, I'm upset because I like you more than a friend. And you get that great page where she kisses him, and it's the kiss that transforms her fully back into a human being. And I fist pumped. This is a great moment.
That's her story.
Yeah.
She fell in love with an average human, and it didn't work out, and so now she has her tie.
It was heartwarming. It was a great page spread. They really did a good job of making me care about these two kind of liking each other, and kind of ever since the started with the whole he's got a crush on her, I've actually been kind of into them while they want me. And then add on top of that the humour on top of it with Keenan and Avery over to the side. Keenan's like, oh, she's half snake, I'm going to throw up. And then after the kiss and she's back to being human, she's like, what's wrong? It's just like Beauty and the Beast. What, you got a problem with the girl being the Beast? And he's like, no, I've got a problem with Baxter being the Beauty. That cracked me up so much.
Yeah, that one killed me.
Yeah, that was great.
Really good. And you also have Master I Ching. We get kind of resolution that the one that we know isn't the original, right?
Well, it's not so much that I wouldn't say either one of them is the original per se, but it confirms that there's two sides of the same coin, because he goes into his meditative state and he's fighting the evil version in meditation land, whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, because I'm laughing at what Keenan calls it, and I can't recall right off the top of my head, but it's the place in between places.
Yeah.
And Keenan's like, yeah, because that makes sense.
Nah, I thought this issue, it felt like such a good climax, in terms of emotional for the Baxi and Delan story. Just the simple setup that they have to go up this building to the final boss as if it's a video game, but they have to save the people, and then it's eventually Keenan who runs off, and he finds his dad, he finds his mom, and then he hears people are in trouble upstairs, and his dad's like, no, Keenan, this is you have to, this is a job for Superman. He actually uses that line, and it's
yep.
It's just this great moment where he finally to his son, it's yeah, go be this hero, this is what you should be. I'll take care of your mom, who at least I'm convinced is your mom, at least. And That's when Keenan goes up and he finally uses his heat vision, which he's not done up until this point. There's that great two-page spread of him finally letting rip. It's great stuff. And then we get the sort of the swerve ending that sort of maybe introduces what the next arc's going to be, which is the Suicide Squad show up because Amanda Waller's sent them to kill Emperor Superman and apparently also Keenan because too dangerous to have these people around. Yeah. So we're going to have the Justice League of China. I was going to say we have the Justice League of China versus Suicide Squad next issue by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yep, and we found out too that apparently Deadshot speaks perfect Mandarin because he had no words in blue.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah,
because
sounds like a skill he'd have.
He stabs him with a kryptonite sword, and he points out, these kryptonite swords don't actually affect you like it would a Kryptonian, like because you're not like actual Superman, you're not actual Kryptonians, but it does weaken you, so we can kill you with a regular thing, and that's how they kill him.
More importantly, it's still a sword, and it's gonna hurt.
Exactly, it's still a sword. You still stab.
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah, but so that was fun. But I think it's my favorite issue of the book. Like it's up there with the Kaiju Turtle issue, which that basically started this arc. This arc's been fantastic. This has been the book, and it's
Emperor Superman.
Yeah, I love this arc. It's great.
The line that I was talking about too, where he tells him he's going to the meditation place, and Keenan's like, he went to a dimension. How did he put it? That's in between stuff. And Avery's like, in between what? And Keenan's just like, I don't know, stuff. Like, it's just Keenan's still Keenan, but he's attained. Like, he's not as ego driven.
Yeah,
he's still a bit of a jerk, but
it feels like I feel like. If you want to fault the first chunk of the book, it's that it was setting up so many like side characters and stuff that was maybe a lot to take in. But now we're at the point where I understand who all the main Justice League members are, who Ming Ming is, because she calls in at one point and gives them help. Ai Ching, even Lenny Lan on TV, like we know who that is. It doesn't it cuts to the news reports. Yep. It's a character we know. It's not just some random news reporter. Like all of it's like it feels like it's all well built up to the point where like okay, everything matters now. I care about all of them. It's great. Yep. So.
Definitely.
This is a book that is really. It was always good, but it's definitely grown to like great things. It's its own mostly self-contained thing, even though it is bringing in things like Suicide Squad and obviously Superman's popped in hero there. But
which good because it should tie into the greater world because Keenan did go on to help him against the Revenge Squad, so there should be a little bit of crossover.
But no, I really feel like it's built its own little sandbox, though, and because of that, it's doing all these great things. So I'm digging it. Obviously, the name might be because of something that might happen soon that we've speculated in the past, but it does almost make me wonder why it wasn't just called Justice League of China, because it really does feel like an ensemble for the most part.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Especially after that first art.